Machine.
Hi there, it's Claire here, and welcome to Hot Pod Time Machine. This is the podcast where we discuss a decision from our past which changed the trajectory of our future. And I've got a wonderful guest on this episode. It's the wonderful Magnus Bruun. Hello, Magnus. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you, and I hope you're good too.
I am very good now. Magnus was telling me just before I hit record that he only chooses the best podcasts. So I'm feeling very privileged. So, Magnus, why did you choose to do this one? Because, deciding on a decision from our past that changed our future is quite a big subject. What went through your mind when I emailed you about it?
Well, I think first of all, I chose this podcast because of you, because we met in Birmingham some months ago at the what was it called, the convention?
Insomnia Gaming Festival, yeah, back in no, it wasn't. It was MCM Comic Con back in November.
Yeah. And we had a lovely evening with some other lovely friends, and went to this gaming bar and played Guitar Hero and all. It was really great, and we've been in contact, the small group, ever since. So when you asked, I said it was easy. It was just, yeah, of course, let's talk about something.
That was such a good night. It was it was so ridiculous.
I had actually never played Guitar Hero, so that was something else.
And what did you think about Guitar Hero when you picked up that guitar? How did you feel? Did you feel powerful, Magnus?
In the beginning, I felt like shite, but I got a hang of it, and I think the stupid machine didn't have enough good songs that I knew anyway. So I wanted to do more. And me and Maggie, we went to it. There was two machines in the bar,
yes.
And we went to the other one, and that had some new songs, and so there's like 2.0. I got quite good at it.
You were all right. You were all right.
All right.
You were good. No, I mean, I'm sorry.
Not fool ourselves.
You were great, Magnus. Sorry, I must shower you very
Better
good.
at drinking the beers. I'm good at that.
It was one of those nights where it doesn't happen very often, but it's like the perfect connection between a group of people where everyone's on the same wavelength. We're all quite mad.
Yeah, and it just took off.
I don't think we had a serious conversation for at least several hours. We were just talking crap, and then we eventually all calmed down like hyper children,
Also because we started out at that German, Austrian thing.
The Christmas market.
The Christmas market with after skiing music live. Just going, ich bin der Anton auf Tirol. And hundreds of people just singing. That was okay, we're off for a night to remember.
It's so good. I've shown my wee global world tours of that time on my stream several times now. Mag to mag, the dancing.
The mag.
People were very impressed by the dancing, and I think they want to see Mag to Mag. I think they need to see this detective show.
Yeah, in production, yeah. Me and Maggie, we kind of comment on each other's whatever posts once in a while, going, "Oh, that's such a Mag thing to post."
It's totally Mag.
Mags.
That's so Mags.
Yeah, but that was a really nice convention. Actually, some convention can be crazy and you don't have time to really meet people and do stuff. It's just work, and then go home and you're jet lagged or whatever. But this was nice.
It's been a nice. I think doing the conventions, especially in the last year for me, I mean, everyone on this podcast, I'd probably say about 90% of people on this podcast have been people that I've really vibed with at conventions. And I only ask people on this podcast who I genuinely, I'm like, oh, I I like you, like I vibe with you. I don't see the point in having a conversation with someone for 40 minutes unless I don't. But especially if you're talking about something that's life changing. Segue. Um, look, I'm professional, Magnus. I'm so professional. Which is what we're talking.
But did you bring your chicken bag?
He's resting in the next room. Gilbert is in the next room.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'll send you a picture of him later on the bed.
Yeah, sleeping, tucked in.
He's sleeping just tucked in. I will send you a picture of him tucked into bed. But yeah, like I wanted to ask you, because this is the whole vibe of the podcast. You know, it's about a decision from our past which changed our future. So out of all the decisions you've made, what do you think is worth chatting about?
Well, there's a lot. That you get kids, so you choose to have a family, the job, I could talk about taking on the job of Assassin's Creed, because that was a big decision. Also because I'm not a gamer, so I didn't know how big this would be and stuff like that. And that would take me out of working on series for at least a year and stuff. So I could talk about that, but I think when I looked deep into my soul, the biggest decision for me, I think, that has changed the trajectory of all of me was I was in this drama school, private drama school, small one in Copenhagen, and it was the first year, and I was doing a production at the Royal Theatre as well at the same time. And one of my colleagues from that production took me aside and said, "Hey, Magnus, I just want to," like a guy that I really respected. And he said, I just want to let you know that I really like you, and I think you're very talented. But you need to know that you are alienating people in the way you behave, the way you are,
What? Okay.
and and you might end up quite lonely this way.
What did he mean by
And,
that when he said you
yeah,
were alienating?
but the thing is that when he said that, that hurt really much, really, that was like a big hit, because he was right. It was the truth. Because I think for many years at that point, I had been trying to become an actor, to trying to succeed as an actor, I really wanted to do all this stuff and be on posters or whatever, all of that, like young dreamer stuff, and and on my way there, I would have gotten quite pointy elbows, getting in front, and take me, but and I just all some egocentric shit,
Mm.
and I've always really been quite kind and nice to people and caring, but I also had this big ego that I really wanted to succeed in this profession, or more accurately, I think I really feared failing,
Mm-hmm.
failing, and not become this actor, because then what? Who am I if I'm not this dream of mine that I've been working so hard on making happen? So he told me this, and as I said, it really resonated in me. And then I, at that point, made a decision to change that. And it was a huge thing, because it was me.
Sure.
It was not just, oh, then I will just not do this small thing. It was the way I was doing the living, because a lot of my life was becoming an actor.
Yes.
And I was starting in this acting school as and this drama. This is Meissner Studio, Meissner technique, which is
Yeah.
a technique. Um, and I began to change the way I was acting in just in socially, and at a table read, I wouldn't try to get a laugh
Okay.
necessarily. You started to listen more instead of trying to just. I have a quick remark here. I can take that part. No, it's we're talking about her right now. Just, you
Yeah.
don't need to interrupt here.
Which is one of the
Listen.
key things for acting. You've got to listen, I guess, you know?
Acting is reacting, and if I'm not listening, I'm just reacting to myself.
Yeah, yeah,
And I think,
exactly.
and I think that was a lot of me just trying to. I wanted to be the lead. I wanted to. I just was afraid
Yeah.
of not making it, and that choice, that of changing who I was, it took years,
Mm.
small steps, baby steps, and also because when he said it, I suddenly heard in my head, oh yeah, there was this nice director, friend of mine that I'd known since we were kids. That she also said that you do know you take up a lot of space when you come into a room, Magnus. Oh
Oh,
yeah, she said that to me. Oh, that was all of this and all of these small bits and stories, and fuck yeah, that's right.
yeah.
Oh, and so it really hurt, and it for me it took some time. I had to look deep inside, and then and see what can I do to become a better me.
I guess it sounds like you had, of course, you were young, you know, and when you're young, there's this impetuous nature to all of us, regardless of if we're introverted or extroverted. It's almost like, I gotta succeed. But it sounds like you were ambitious. And I resonate with that a lot. I'm still very ambitious. I want to do very well, and my fear of failure is quite strong. I would blame
Me
my,
both.
what was that? Yeah, I really hate, like, I like feedback. I do like it, but then if it's bad feedback, I go, oh, and it still hurts a little bit. But I've learned to be calmer about it because I'm older. But would you say that you've still got that burning ambition inside you? You're just softer about it.
Um, yeah, I never lost the ambition.
Yes.
I still want to, but I think I changed the fear of failing into the like the trying to succeed instead. Trying to let's make this happen instead of let's not make me clawing up the just it's not about me. It's about the production. It's about us. It's about the show or whatever. Obviously we all want to look good, we all want to do our best,
Yeah.
but if I'm not giving you my best, then you can't give me your best, and then the
Absolutely.
scene the scene we're doing or whatever will not work. As if it's only about making me, I'm doing this so they can see me and I can get this job. No, fuck that. If
Mm.
you're doing the best you can together here, then they will see it.
Was there?
uh,
Do you think that came from also perhaps like an insecurity inside yourself because you're like, I just want to be at the front, not just ambition, but perhaps slight insecurity? Because I always think fear and insecurity are interlinked.
Yeah, I think that too, definitely. And I don't think I will ever lose the insecurity.
Mhm.
And I don't think necessarily that's a bad thing, because if you're just like I'm the king of the world, and
Yeah.
then you might be a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Um, but of course you get more confidence. And the more jobs, the more people you meet, the more things you do, the older you get, you get more confidence. But still, you're still threading on thin ice sometimes. I'm currently in a theater production, um, in Denmark, and I hadn't done theater for 5 years. Um,
Wow, scary
step up.
stuff.
Yeah, but I had been doing a lot of cool stuff internationally, so that's been really nice. So I didn't have the time for it, but I really missed being on stage and you know, living the whole story every night instead of just a scene and then cut and say it again. You know, doing the whole bit every night and reliving it and in front of a live audience and feeling your fellow actors backstage and all that. And when you get one of the most lovely things about theatre, I think, is when you sort of breathe together with the audience.
Yep.
That you can almost feel the tension when it's drama, or you know that when you're doing a comedy, it's like everybody laughs. You know, when you're in that, is that's just so fulfilling as an actor, as we spoke of prior to this podcast.
It must be quite like, because you've done so many things internationally, you know, and every job you learn a little bit more. It's great to go out there and go beyond your borders, but coming back and doing a theatre production, how does it feel when you go right out and then you come right back in again? Must feel quite humbling.
That was what I was trying to aim at and then forgot.
Oh, good. I'm professional, very professional.
It's that the insecurity and the fear, because when we got closer to opening night, like I started feeling, is this good enough? Is this am I doing it right here? And the insecurity just came, you know, just sneaking in, like creeping. But and then we had the opening night and it went really well, and then and then we started playing, but then some nights it's just I set the line in a different way. It didn't feel right. Then was that good enough? It starts creeping in now after doing it 70 times or 80 times or how many times we've done it. I don't feel that anymore. I can feel, obviously, I know when I stepped on a line or I forgot that, and he didn't say that, so the timing was or whatever. Yeah. But that it doesn't hit the insecurity. But I felt in the first two weeks, I think, I tended to go to my head a lot when we didn't get that reaction, or I didn't get that reaction from the audience, or when that sounded weird, or because it's been 5 years since I've been on stage. And when you're used to, we take it again, but from the second, wait for a camera, you know, and you're just shooting scenes, or we will take that from the other angle, so it doesn't matter that you know, you can clean that up, or we can help you with this, or there's a lot of help when you're doing shooting film.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have to be there and be able to make the scene and have be filled up with the feelings and do the, you know, all the stuff needs to be there for that hour when you're shooting that or whatever.
Of course.
So you need to be able to just turn that on. But you can always, you know, we do some editing here. There's a lot of stuff you can do, whereas on stage it's live.
You just have to roll with it.
Not to come in on your cue, you idiot.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
But you know what?
Jumped 10 lines. Now they won't know that he's in prison now, or whatever, you know, whatever.
That's the beauty of doing anything live. And I think that people in a live audience, generally, I can speak for myself when I'm a passive audience member, you know what you're watching and you can forgive things, you know, things like stand up or, you know, theatre. If it's not quite perfect, you can forgive it. It's human error. That's the charm and the beauty of watching something live that isn't CGI and polished, and it's like the perfect take, because it's nice to sort of have a storyteller do it their way, and whatever way they're feeling that night. You know, you might have had a shit time with your kids that morning. Maybe subconsciously it affects you and you go, oh God, like I'm not doing it right, or, you know, but that's just the fabric of what you were that day. It's like a snapshot, you know.
Yeah, you take all of that with you on stage. Yeah. And instead of trying to like repress it, you just use it.
Yeah, 100%.
Doesn't mean that you have to be really sad when you're going on because of whatever. But you filled up with something. Use that because it's honest. It's what's there right now.
You're right. I did a.
They're paying to see what's there right now today.
I never get to do that in my job because in my job, if I'm on a stage, I'm interviewing someone. So I never get to. I just have to be. I have to facilitate for the other person. But at the beginning of the year, I think I told you at the end of last year, I was going to do an acting course. And I did it.
Yeah.
I did a little one at the beginning of the year. You were high-fiving me, going, yeah, that's great. Yes, do it. And I was very scared. And I didn't know what to expect. But what I loved was when we were doing scenes and practicing snippets of things, there was like feelings and emotions and things coming out of me that I did not know. And I've learned so much about myself in 8 weeks than I probably have done in 7 years of therapy. So, which is, I was like, is this who I am? Oh, like, you know what? Does it feel like that for you when you're acting?
We have this, I remember this saying, that everyone in the whole world should take 1 year of acting school, just the first year, because you learn so much about yourself that you find out, oh God, I can actually do this. I'm not, all of that. And then everybody would just be nicer to each other.
Yes.
The world would be a safer, nicer place.
Yes. It's like exercising parts of your character that I've definitely found there's certain parts of my character that I don't show. They're not necessarily bad, but I can only show them in certain times to certain people. So when you're doing a scene and you have to access a memory or access something, it's very cathartic to be able to like be that person, like, you know, just without walls, without any walls or any masks. It's a wonderful feeling. Do you still get that now, even though you've been doing it for years?
Yeah, but not every night and not in every show, or it depends on what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because obviously when you have some heavy scenes with, you know, I have a scene in The Last Kingdom, for example, comes to mind, that where I'm told that my son has been beheaded, and I thought he was safe, and now I'm told that he's that this other guy killed him, and has my youngest son captured, and all of the feelings I had to go through there, and the rage afterwards, the sadness coming to the rage, to the all of that. That is, every time I did that scene was like a full blown, I don't know, just an explosion. And I remember like cut. I had to sit down and be like, not that I felt like because it's acting, it's not me, you know, it's not real, but it's still this whole human machine was just on, I don't know, overworked, just so for a couple of minutes, and then break, breath, water, and then line up, do it again. That is something out of you get out of your sort of leave you. I sort of left myself and came back because it was such a huge thing.
Yeah.
But if you're just doing a scene where you're telling somebody some information about, you need to go over that hill, and then it's not like, oh yeah,
really feeling that hill, man. Really feeling it.
The way I pointed, did you get?
Oh wow, that was really convincing. I felt it was really right in front of you there. You're such a good actor, Magnus.
Can replay that? I need to see it. Oh.
Excellent.
You're pointing with two fingers. That's such a Mag thing to do.
It's very Mag, and you pointed and you looked another way. I mean, you can point and look in a different direction. Oscar-winning stuff.
Yeah, just standing ovations here.
Yes, and the Oscar goes to Mag. I got to practice my didn't win face.
Oh, well. Yeah, just go.
Fuck fuck you. I wanted to ask you, in terms of like act, because like I don't know, I kind of feel like there's like moments where there's one scene I was doing particularly, and I've not even done a year of acting, and I'm like, oh my god, it opened up so many wounds. There's one scene I did. I don't want to talk about it specifically because it's very personal, but my god, like I really felt afterwards like I needed to just kind of be alone in myself for a little while. And I didn't think I would feel that much. But you know what? I like feeling depressed. I quite like feeling anger and depression and elation. I think feeling all the gamut of human emotions is healthy. And I don't think we feel them in that way from day to day.
No, but we used to when we were kids. You know,
Yeah.
you can go from being, oh, that's a candy. Somebody took my
Yeah.
crying. No, here's a candy. Oh yeah. You know, and that can be like 20 seconds.
Yes.
Where, but we are taught as kids. No. You can't. You can't be angry. No. Go to your room or whatever, and come down when you're happy. It's like I'm not going to get happy alone in my room. What is wrong parenting here? But so and all through school, just be quiet. No, stop. If we're not playing now, we're learning. We're not. You can't do that. You get this. There's a lot of no. Get into these boxes.
Yes.
And the human boxes. Yeah, we can put that here and you're next to here, and so all of that emotion, all of those, they're repressed, put down, and that's what sort of what you're trying to open up when you go to drama school, is to open up for these emotions. So when somebody says something to you, you don't go, no, I better not. You react. How do I want to react to this? He's shouting at me. I'm gonna shout back, or I'm gonna start crying. Instead of just going, oh, I'm just gonna fight.
Yeah, because that's a weird response if you think about it. If somebody shouts at you, going, "Okay, have a good day, sir," like it's not.
Yeah, and that's why there's a lot. Obviously, there's a lot of people. We trying not to get into confrontations with people. You don't want to. Oh no. Yeah, then you can have that cake. I don't want to take it. I don't want to take the discussion now or the argument or whatever. But you should. Yeah. Actually, you should just say, no, sir, that's not right.
Yes.
Just we'll come to that. This drives me directly into the Me Too movement. Whereas just if you're seeing somebody doing something they should not do, then call it out, you know. And instead of if people are saying something slightly racist or whatever, just say, hey, no, you can't call them that.
Yeah.
That's stop. It's wrong or whatever. Instead of just going, it was just a joke. Yeah, but it's actually not fun, you know.
No.
Nobody's here laughing, you know. And so I think if that's, how can I put this? That's just a lot of people that are very vocal about it's, oh, I am entitled to this.
Yes.
I didn't get 2 pieces of cake, so I need to or whatever. Or I was the first one here. I need that parking slot is mine or whatever. And because they shout or are getting angry or whatever, they get it.
Mm-hmm.
People go, oh, she's a fucking monster, or he's such a whatever. But they get their way.
Yeah.
They get it. They did get it. Even though you're talking behind their back going, oh, you should never work with her. Well, but she is working because she did that or whatever. And I think all of us should be better at saying no and saying stop. Yes. Or just asking, why do you feel that you should have that more than me? Absolutely. Or whatever it is. But we don't, because we're so afraid of the, oh, but what if she shouts at me? Or what if or do I lose my job if I say that it's not all right, that the boss is slapping somebody in the ass, or, you know, or grabbing or being nasty or whatever, we should call it out. And it's not the victim necessarily that should call it out. It's the people watching.
Yeah.
Of us silently agreeing with the oppressor all over. And that is something that I would really like us to be better at.
That's what I would like to. There's so many times where I talk to people in this industry or outside, and you talk about certain subjects, and they go, yeah, that's terrible. But, what are you doing to kind of band together to work as a unit to go, this is not right, and I guess it goes back to that. I feel like society, they, or however you want to call them, it's like they have trained us to be like lambs to the slaughter. You're just going about your daily life, you're working really hard, you've your kids or not kids or whatever, and you're just kind of like walking into like the fire, you're not looking up,
yeah
and that's how it feels. But I feel like more people need to kind of, I guess this goes back to creativity and things as well. When you are creative or you do access something inside of you that makes you more empathetic, that makes you look out beyond your borders, you can see it for what it is, and you can stop doing that and call things out or be passionate about something, or I don't know, like it's hard to explain, but it's something that frustrates me quite a lot.
Yeah. Something that also kind of frustrates me is that the thing about letting like geniuses or people, really successful people, talented people, get away with stuff because, but she is so good. So it's, have you seen her work? It's all right that, or but have his paintings. Let's not talk about the young girls because he is he changed the whole art scene or whatever. And I agree with the thing that it takes some arrogance and some ego to be to make it and to be maybe to be a creative genius. You need to trust yourself to be original, to say, hey, this is the best. I am this, look at this shit. This is the best stuff. You need to have some of that to get up there. But you don't have to be a fucking idiot, and you don't have to treat people like shit. You can easily say, hey, I am the best at this, but still listen to the others. And you can still, and there's been for generations, we've had these people who just got away with all that shit because he sold 1 billion records, or let's not kid ourselves. He is the king or whatever. But we need, and I think we're working. The whole culture now is working on that. This is not how it's supposed to be.
No,
but it's tough.
It's a weird time because I can see there is change, but people are uncomfortable with change generally. Change in attitude towards legends, people, or art and things. I see a lot of that. I try to avoid Twitter as much as possible, but I do see it when I go on, and people moaning and going, yeah, but the books were really great, leave them alone, or whatever it is. And but it's okay to say, yeah, okay, so the books were great, but maybe don't leave them alone because there's still a shitty ass person that's done some bad things or says bad things or uses their power to say bad things. I'm thinking about one author in particular that keeps coming up on my timeline.
Well, I know of whom you speak.
I wonder who it could be. And I'm just, no, I mean, the BBC called me up. It was like last month or the month before, because a video game had come out around the book. And they were like, we want you to talk about, this video game, blah, blah, blah. And it's paid, it's paid work for me. But I said to them, no, because I don't want to unless I can say what I need to say, I'm not giving it airtime. And they were like, oh, okay, we'll leave it then. I was like, sorry, that might cost me some jobs down the line, but I would rather stick by my morals and principles,
Yeah, and you know what? I think, and that is the thing we talked about just before. It's about saying no.
Yeah,
No, I will not do this.
yeah, absolutely. And it's okay to say no
I will not
because
silently just let this happen.
no,
Uh,
saying no is powerful. It's extremely powerful. So I do think it's an important thing. But you know, it's again, change is hard for people. I think we're in this point in society where attitudes are changing, but old attitudes still exist. How we are as a generation or generations are changing. What is old? What is young? How do we feel? That kind of thing. And it's everything's completely changing and it's uncomfortable. Change. This whole podcast was started because I started this podcast 40 weeks till my 40th. So I can count down the weeks of the podcast to my 40th birthday. And that's why I started it, because it was a year of it's been a year of change. And it is uncomfortable, but ultimately it will be okay. Do you feel the same about change? Do you still feel uncomfortable with it, or do you accept it?
it depends on the change, I would say, because the there's a lot of change in this business right now.
Yeah.
One thing is the whole personal level of we're talking about genders and we're talking about equality and the um, uh, about race and about all of this, but also just the business is changing because of like streaming,
Yes.
how massive that is. The movie industry is doesn't know what to do. Can it still work? Is it going to be Netflix now, or so all of that is changing, and the theaters all around the world has always been working hard to succeed because it's hard to get the audience, but it's even harder now with a generation of kids that don't go to the theater because they want to sit with the screens and watch that. I can get 15 seconds here and then another video. Why should I sit and watch something that takes 1.5 hours where I can't second screen and I can't, shout or leave for, so there's a lot of stuff going on there. And for me, that's a lot of change, because who am I in this business? Can I be a shark and swim around and eat that and keep working, or is there a place for me here? And then I'm glad that I jumped into the whole video game things, because that has opened some new doors and windows, and 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 actually, for really fun stuff that I didn't know was there, and there's so much to do, and I've already done a couple of games now, and it's really fun. And I didn't see that a couple of years back would be my road ahead.
Surely
I
very
thought,
exciting though, Magnus, as an actor, because if you're in a video game, you can be anyone. You could be
yeah,
anything. So surely that's quite exciting for you as a storyteller, right?
yeah, definitely. And yeah, also the scale of it, because when I did Assassin's Creed Valhalla, that that game and the character I played was so huge that I remember Darby McDevitt, the creative writer of the show, of the game. He said it's similar to being the lead in a television series where there's 24 episodes
Yeah.
in each season, and there's 10 seasons, and you are in every scene in every episode of these 10 seasons. That's the amount of storytelling you're doing in this game, which is crazy. And we counted it. I didn't, but they counted it, and I've recorded more than 15,000 lines,
Ooh.
which is insane. So being able to do that is something completely different, and there's so much story to tell. Of course, there's a lot of stories in that game that are just I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna talk to myself while fishing, or it's not necessarily like the huge character arc I have here, but there's so much, and that was a journey that I didn't know I was jumping on when I got the gig. It's like, oh yeah, this sounds huge. I'm gonna approach this just as I will do all my other filming and character work, and then it just grew bigger and bigger. And because the game was such a huge success, it made a lot of extra content. So I think it's the first Assassin's Creed game where they have made second-year content, when they started to do new huge DLCs, which are actually a game in itself, and a lot of extra, which has been really fun to work with, and jumping back into the character while doing other stuff as well.
And that's really cool, because, from what we talked about at the beginning, when you said about your decision to change your attitude, change your vibe, and you think about where you're sitting now, you're doing theatre, you've done games, imagine if you hadn't changed your attitude. Where do you think you would be right now? Do you think you'd still be doing this?
I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that I wouldn't have. I would probably still have met my wonderful, lovely wife, but I don't think she would have fallen in love with me.
Okay, fair.
I think she would have thought of me being a little too smart and arrogant, like, oh yeah, sure, dude.
Okay.
Because I met her a year after I started to change my perspective of the world and on myself, and I was in a different place already. Also, I was lucky to be in acting schools at the same time, so I was actually being able to work a lot on myself every day with all this, and with some great friends of mine now that I was my fellow students. And I've had this. I got this saying from my old math teacher in primary school that I still use once in a while. That is thinky before you talky.
Yes.
Obviously, you said it in Danish, but just listen. Think. Do you need to say this right now? Or if you're going to say it, then just think about it before. And I can still take, grab myself by the neck and just going, oh, you did it again. Why? Oh, and then maybe I'll go, sorry, I apologize for interrupting, or because it's still part of me. I have a lot of energy. You probably see this video here. I'm just doing all kinds of stuff.
No, not at all.
But so I have a lot of that energy, which is a good thing, I think. But you need to be able to control it, and that is something I think it will be working with for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, I'm not sure that I would have been on your podcast and have met you at a convention in Birmingham if I hadn't taken the other road. So I think that was very important for me. Also, it's much nicer being me, not trying to just relax. Start trusting. I started trusting myself more because I could sit back and start to listen more. Actually, oh, so you're saying this. I think I became a better student as well.
Yes, 100%.
Because I wasn't trying to impress the teacher. I was trying to, do the best scene, do the best work together. Not trying to. Oh, but did you see me? It's the pond that I'm in front, or
It's not about that. It's not about that. It's about, yeah, if you all rise, like, if you rise together, you all rise together. You're all going to be on top, especially if you're working collaboratively like that. I feel the fire. Like I've had to I really resonate with a lot of what you're saying. I think now that I'm a bit older, I mean, there's times with emails or calls, even like small things like that, where I sit back and go, no, wait. And there's times to be really fiery. Like recently in this last week, I've had to go like full in, and I've had to defend my position, or I have to say something, or I have to right or wrong. Fine, I'm okay to do that. But there's some times where I go, no, 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 no. Like, let's just think about this for a second. And maybe I'll sleep on it. And maybe have one sleep and then think, maybe talk to a friend, maybe, have an internal monologue, and then I can make a decision. I'm just much more considered now than I ever was. But sometimes the fire comes out because it's hard to control, and I feel it like burning,
That's all right. That is, it's just you.
Yeah.
That's Claire. That's you, and that's all right to have that. Also, and then if you think you overstepped the line when you get angry or whatever, you can always scale it back and say, I'm sorry, but you really pissed me off or whatever. You can't speak to me in that way or write that shit to me or whatever. And it also, when you are a public person, you also need to just ignore. I get so many comments and messages and stuff like that. And in the beginning, I was so flattered. I'm definitely still am. But in the beginning, when I got into the Last Kingdom show, I started getting a lot of the lovely messages on Instagram or comments, and I was and answered, and I was so happy about it. And at some point, it takes more and more time when you get more and more messages and more, and do I really? I can just take it in. Nobody expects me to do anything, and then you get the bad messages. Then you get. I have been so lucky that I have never gotten a dick pic, but I know hundreds of girls that have gotten them.
I feel sorry for you. There's nothing
like
nothing like a good dick pic, Magnus.
Yeah, but that is just that is insane that people would do that, and I've gotten messages that I really didn't like, but and also get some weird sexual stuff from primary American ladies.
Nice.
I think that really like bulky Vikings.
Yes, it's definitely a mood. It's definitely a mood. That's
for sure. And when you feel alone, you need to send pictures and write stuff, but
hey, you've not had a dick pic, so that's fine.
But I haven't had a dick pic. Well, no. Maybe I had, but I haven't. You pressed the. Can I see the picture on the?
Look, they're always very disappointing, Magnus. It's the lighting. I think generally, men have to get the lighting right. The lighting's always terrible. Lighting and angles, gentlemen.
What do you expect? What did you expect me to take a picture of your dick and send it? Did you just
warm lighting is better?
Yeah. Well, to all of you listeners, warm lighting, not too much douche, but still.
Yeah, just not too much shadow, just a little bit warm. It's got to look inviting.
Oh God. But it doesn't. It's a cock.
I know, it never does. It's just like, hi, here I am. This is me. That's literally what dick pics are. That's literally what they are.
What do you think that the guy expects coming out of that?
I know. You know what I'd be more impressed by if I got a dick pic with, like, the little stick-on eyes, or they kind of dressed it up and maybe made it look a bit more theatrical. Like, oh, okay, maybe you're a bit weird. You're you're worth maybe talking to.
You did the work. No. It's horrible. Let's not encourage anybody to
No.
do anything because it's horrible. And if you ever thought of doing that, don't. And if you did it, you need to go deep into yourself and start. But you listen to this podcast. I've talked about changing myself. You need to change. You need to change now.
And speaking about change, I want to go back to finish the podcast to a question I thought about when we first started. You said to me, well, I had to look down to the color of my soul. So I ask you today, in the year 2023, at this precise moment, I don't know when this podcast is going out, so I won't say the exact date, but what is the color of your soul right now, Magnus?
In this exact moment, I think it's green.
Oh, why is it green?
Well, I'm sitting here and in my green shirt with a plant in the background. I have this wonderful, just out the window here, it's just green garden and fields in the background. I'm drinking of my ocean bottle, which is, I believe they make these, every time you buy one of these, it's equivalent of picking up, they pick up, I think, I can't remember, is it 100 or 500 kilos of trash from the oceans. So I think green is super green.
You're like Captain Planet. You're basically Captain Planet. That's you.
Let's not. I do what I can, and I pick up trash on the beach and in the woods, and I recycle as much as I can, and I use vintage clothes and all that. But
I love that. I like that you're.
Well, I still drive a car. I still get on a plane to do a job. Even though I ask productions to what is that called? You can have them to plant trees in equivalent of how much fuel the plane spent. I can talk about it in Danish. I'm not sure.
I feel like, next time production or someone wants to fly you somewhere, just tell them that you want to go by horse and cart. That's the way.
Yeah, that's the way to get to the States.
Yeah. Horse and cart. Like, it's just over the ocean somehow. Just slowly drowning as you get there. But I like that the color of your soul is green because
Claire, what color is your soul?
Black. This is black. Right now, okay, no, honestly, right now it's just black. I'd say right now the color of my soul is probably like a kind of deep dark purple. Yep, close to black. I don't know why I'm in a funny mood at the moment, and I think that's why I've not been in a very bright place. That's not that I'm depressed, but for even the clothes the clothes I'm wearing right now are bright, but generally I've changed my style, and everything feels like I'm changing inside, so I'm kind of trying to I kind of enjoy accessing the darker place as opposed to the happier place. That sounds really emo. I sound very emo, but I'm not meaning to.
But it's all right. You're allowed to be emo once in a while.
Yeah.
I'm I have in a more happy place. I'm gonna go pick up my kids in a little while, and my daughter is 3.5, and she's the most fun red-headed little lovely girl.
Oh.
Soon to be 8, and he's in school. He's learned to read and write now, and he's the best. So I'm can't wait to see those guys, and we're gonna make some Mexican pancakes tonight, and yeah.
Oh.
It's actually my me and my wife's wedding anniversary day today.
Happy anniversary! Oh my goodness!
Yeah, thank you. 7 years.
How it flies by! It really flies by.
We got married in New York, and my son Ferdinand, he was on my arm, 7 months old, and he was holding the rings.
Oh,
On them. But yeah, so that's 7 years from now.
Well, happy anniversary. I hope you enjoy the pancakes. And
I will, I'm sure.
Thank you very much for chatting on the podcast as well. Really enjoyed it. Everybody who is listening on Spotify and everywhere else, please make sure you go follow Magnus Bruun on Instagram. I think it's just Magnus Bruun. And if you're watching along, we'll have all the links on the YouTube description. Magnus, thank you very much for chatting to me. Thank you very, very much for being here.
For having me. Let's do some fun stuff soon.
Yeah, let's do some fun stuff soon. I'll DM you. Yeah, I'll DM you. Yeah.
No dick pics, Claire.
No. Only good lighting. Don't worry. I like aesthetics. It's fine. Only the best for you, Magnus.
Oh, thank God.
Thank you very much for listening to Hot Pod Time Machine. I've been Claire. This has been Magnus. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Hot Pod Time Machine.